But in terms of speaking for their Charlotte.
No.
Charlotte, you're not going to smile?
I'm supposed to smile? I thought you wanted us to do pictures like we do for Camp Khalil. You know, the crazy faces? Okay. Everybody ready? Okay. 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 So. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, okay.
Timekeeper. How much time each person? 15, 15, 15. You got it?
Assalamu alaikum. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. All praise is due to Allah, who sent down to us his book most clear, and later revealed in the last ayat, "This day I have completed for you your religion, and completed my blessing and favor upon you, and chose for you al-Islam as your religion. I bear witness there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, and I witness that our leader Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and his messenger, who made plain and demonstrated the principles of al-Islam: shahada, salat, zakat, hajj, and fasting. O Allah, send prayers and peace upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, and his companions. Allah opened and expanded their hearts to al-Islam and endeared faith to them. Then, O servants of Allah, I advise you, as well as I advise myself, to first have regard, taqwa, for Allah, Most High, and then to obey him. I would like to greet each one of you with Assalamu alaikum, This is our second effort at a sisters-led ta'aleem here at Masjid Warithuddin Muhammad. And we have decided to begin a series of topics. And the series of topics is based on the gates of Jannah, the gates of paradise. And the first gate that we will present to you is the gate of fasting. And some people are saying, well, we just finished Ramadan. You know, we through with fasting. Why can't you focus on something else? Which was my initial thought. But the sisters prevailed upon me and explained. And we are focusing on fasting because we have just finished, and it's fresh in our minds and it's fresh in our spirits, and we want to keep that going. What comes to me is a common phrase: you either use it or lose it. And during Ramadan, we have built up our spiritual muscles and we're strong in the faith. But if we don't continue to use those muscles, they will get less and less firm and less useful to us. So I would like to read for you the hadith that gave us our overall series theme, and then move into the individual presentations. This hadith is found in Sahih Bukhari, and it's narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, "Whoever gives two kinds of things or property in charity for Allah's cause will be called from the gates of paradise and will be addressed, 'O slaves of Allah, here is prosperity.' So whoever was amongst the people who used to offer their prayers will be called from the gate of prayer. And whoever was amongst the people who used to participate in jihad will be called from the gate of jihad. And whoever was amongst those who used to observe fast will be called from the gate of Ar-Riyyan. Whoever was amongst those who used to give in charity will be called from the gate of charity." Abu Bakr said, "Let my parents be sacrificed for you, O Allah's apostle. No distress or need will befall him who will be called from those gates. Will there be anyone who will be called from all these gates?" The Prophet ﷺ replied, "Yes, and I hope you will be one of them." So from this hadith, we understand that there are several different gates to paradise, and we are focusing on the gate today of fasting. And we need to, I guess, clearly understand what is meant by a gate. And I you think about a gate, you've got the image, but I looked it up, and basically a gate or a gateway is a means of access. It's an opening. It's a passageway from one place to another. And we are looking for that passageway that would lead us from this dunya into Jannah. And fasting is one way to do that. Our first presentation will be by Sister Salima Shahid, and she is, and our community of African American Muslims is not several hundred years old in this country. We're relatively new. But she is a born Muslim, not a revert or a convert, and she has studied and she has tried to gain knowledge to benefit her own life as well as to share with others. And that is one of the reasons we are doing the Sisters Ta'aleem, because to present information means you have to study yourself. And the way to perfect that information and firmly implant it is for you to give it to others. And that is our intention. And inshallah, our intention will be fulfilled. Sister Salima.
Assalamu alaikum. So we'll go ahead and get started. This is just an overview. Stop working. Yeah, okay. So just to give you an overview of our presentation today. So Sister Charlotte gave us the introduction to what we hope, inshallah, will be a series of topics on this discussion. So I'll start with the prescriptions for fasting, and then we'll go into types and times of fasting, and then etiquettes of the fast, and then lastly, the benefits of fasting. So we go ahead. Oh, that's me. Sorry. Okay, before we get started, I want to give a little disclaimer. I think most of us here know each other, but we are not scholars sitting up here today. We are just women who strive to study this religion, to know it better for ourselves, and to be able to share it with our families and our communities. So therefore, this is just an overview of the topic. It is not exhaustive. It is not a scholar presentation. So if you have specific questions about permissibility during the fast or questions of fiqh, we recommend highly that you consult with the imam or a sheikh about it. We can answer general questions as the information that we're presenting, inshallah, is pretty widely available. And then we ask that you hold your questions to the end so the presentation can go forward. Okay, so having said that, in the Quran, there are about 5 verses that pertain to fasting specifically. So I'll just go ahead and read through them really quickly, but you will hear them throughout the presentation. So Surah 2, which is Al-Baqarah, and there are several verses that pertain to fasting. So Ayat 183, says, "O you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, that you may learn self-restraint." Ayat 184 says, "Fasting for a fixed number of days, but if any of you is ill or on a journey, the prescribed number should be made up from days later. For those who can do it with hardship is a ransom, the feeding of one that is indigent. But he that will give more of his own free will, it is better for him, and it is better that for you that you fast if you only knew." And then Ayat 185 of the same surah, "Ramadan is the month in which we sent down the Quran as a guide to mankind, also clear signs for guidance and judgment between right and wrong. So every one of you who is present at his home during that month should spend it in fasting. But if anyone is ill or on a journey, the prescribed period should be made up by days later. Allah intends every facility for you. He does not want to put you to difficulty. He wants you to complete the prescribed period and to glorify him in that he has guided you, and perchance ye shall be grateful." And then Ayat 187, "Permitted to you on the night of the fast is the approach to your wives. They are your garments and ye are their garments. Allah knoweth what you used to do secretly among yourselves, but he turned to you and forgave you. So now associate with them and seek what Allah has ordained for you, and eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appear to you distinct from its black thread. Then complete your fast till the night appears, but do not associate with your wives while you are in retreat in the mosque. Those are limits set by Allah. Approach not nigh thereto. Thus doth Allah make clear his signs to men, that they may learn self-restraint." And then in the same surah, but ayat 196 is the ayat where he talks about Hajj. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Hajj. And I'll just skip ahead in that ayat. So where he talks about fasting specifically is for those on Hajj. You are one of the rights of Hajj is to make a sacrifice, and so if you do not have the means with which to make the sacrifice, and Allah in this ayat tells the person on Hajj to fast 3 days after the let's say the 11th to 12th, 13th. while you're stoning the Jamarat, while you're there, and then 7